All right, let's do this. Today, we're diving in and building a Roblox game completely from scratch. I mean, from a totally blank slate all the way to a finished, published game you can actually share with your friends. You know that feeling, right? You're playing some game on Roblox and you think, man, this is cool, but I have an even better idea. Well, you're right. You absolutely can, and I'm going to show you how. It's probably way easier than you think. So buckle up, we're going to walk through the whole thing step by step, from the moment you open up the software to that amazing feeling of hitting the publish button. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, you're going to need Roblox Studio. Think of it as your digital workshop, your command center. This is where all the magic happens and where every single part of your game comes to life. Now, when you first open Studio, you'll see a bunch of windows. The first one you really need to know is the Explorer. It's basically the table of contents for your entire game. Every single object. I mean, everything. From the ground you stand on to a tiny little script, even the skybox. It's all listed right here. It's how you keep everything organized. And right alongside the Explorer is its partner in crime, the Properties window. They work together. You click on something in the Explorer, and bam, the Properties window shows you everything about it. Want to change a block's color? Make it bigger? Change it from plastic to, I don't know, neon? This is the place. Seriously. Get to know these two windows. They're going to be your best friends. Okay, before we actually start building stuff, we need to be able to move around, right? If you've ever played a game on your computer, this is going to feel super familiar. You use W, A, S, and D to move around, hold down the right mouse button to look around, and use Q and E to go up and down. Just fly around for a second, get a feel for it. It's pretty intuitive. All right, feeling comfortable moving around? Good, because now the fun really starts. We're going to take this empty void and turn it into a simple obstacle course. And it all begins with adding our very first part. This is super easy. Just look at the top, go to the Home tab, and click that Part button. A little brick will just pop into existence in your world. Now you can use those tools right at the top. Select, move, scale, and rotate to put it exactly where you want it. That's it. That's the core of building in Roblox right there. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the single most important rule for beginners. You'll spend hours building this incredible tower, you'll be so proud, you'll hit play to test it, and the whole thing will just fall apart into a pile of bricks. Why? One word, anchoring. You see, by default, parts are affected by physics. If you don't anchor a part, it's just going to fall. Anchoring locks it in place, basically telling gravity to leave it alone. So remember, if it's not supposed to move, you have to anchor it. So we've got some platforms, which is cool, but right now they're just lumps of plastic. They don't do anything. If we want to make our game interactive, if we want to add danger or rewards or rules, well, for that, we need a little bit of magic. And that magic is called scripting. Now, I know the second I say scripting or code, some of you might be thinking, oh no, this is where it gets complicated. But stick with me. You do not need to be some expert programmer to make really awesome things happen. A tiny, simple script can completely change your game. So let's ask the question, what can just a few lines of code really do? Okay, take a look at this. This is a little bit of Lua, which is the language Roblox uses. Don't worry about memorizing it, just understand the idea. That first line with dot touched is basically telling the part, hey, pay attention. Let me know the instant something touches you. The rest of the code is just the instructions for what to do when it gets touched. It checks to see if the thing that touched it was a player by looking for something called a humanoid, which every player character has. And if it finds that humanoid, it sets the player's health to 0. That's it. That's the power of scripting right there. With that tiny little block of code, we've just transformed a boring regular brick into a deadly lava trap. It's the classic kill brick, and it's one of the first things most creators learn to make. Now, you don't have to build absolutely everything from the ground up. You don't have to model every tree or every car yourself. And this brings us to a really important choice every creator has to make. Are you going to use pre-made assets, or are you going to create your own? On one hand, you have the toolbox. It's this giant library packed with free models made by the community. It is super fast. You want a sports car? Search for it, click, and boom, it's in your game. The downside, well, everyone else is using the same stuff, so your game might not feel very original. On the other hand, creating your own custom assets takes way more time and skill, but it means your game will look and feel totally unique, like nothing else out there. So, does this really matter to the players? Oh, you bet it does. The data is pretty clear. Games that are full of unique custom assets get way higher ratings. We're talking an average of 4.7 out of 5 stars. Compare that to games that lean heavily on the toolbox, which average around 3.5. That difference is huge. It just shows that players really, really appreciate originality.
And it's not just about a one-time rating either. It's about keeping players engaged. That unique feel makes them want to come back for more. In fact, games with a lot of custom assets can see player retention jump by as much as 40%. That's a massive number, and it's a really compelling reason to think about learning to make your own stuff.
Okay, deep breaths. You've built your world. You've scripted some cool obstacles. You've made some choices about your assets. We're at the home stretch. It's time for the most exciting part, publishing your masterpiece and sharing it with the world.
And you're gonna love how simple this is. You just go up to the File menu, hit Publish to Roblox, give your game an awesome name and a description that gets people excited. Make sure you set it to public. That's the important part. And then you click Create. And just like that, it's done. Your game is live on Roblox for the whole world to play.
And you know what's really cool? Once your game is out there and people are playing it, you can even start to monetize it. You can set up things like game passes for special perks or sell in-game items with developer products. This is literally how your new hobby can start earning you actual Robux. So think about it. We just went from a completely empty file to a real published game. You now have the fundamental building blocks, the core skills you need to create pretty much anything you can imagine. The adventure is just getting started for you. So my question is, what are you going to create next?